Hello and welcome to Panorama. Societal decadence leading to reduction in human capacity for orderly behavior is today a major cause for increasing criminal tendencies, especially among the youth. Most global communities are collapsing under the yoke of declining parental authority and upbringing, societal collective value system and governmental control through policies and law enforcement. This worrying concern is the bane for cultism, thuggery, robbery, kidnap, violent attacks and other forms of criminality bedeviling the society in recent times. Here in Borno, adverse socio-economic effects of the nearly 13 years of Boko Haram insurgency is contributing to many criminal tendencies, especially among the youth. How can we nip this criminal behavior in the bud and return to a value-based society? How can we ensure exercise of sustainable maintenance of law and order by security agencies for a safe society? This is our focus this afternoon on Panorama from the studios of NTA Maiduguri. I am Muhammad Ibrahim. President Muhammadu Buhari is urging leaders and members of the All Progressives Congress to assiduously channel their energies towards improving the fortunes of the governing party and strengthening its position of dominance in Nigeria's political space. This was while granting audience to APC leadership in the National Assembly, led by Senate President Ahmed Lawan. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
This meeting with the APC leadership in the National Assembly is in furtherance of President Muhammadu Buhari's strategic engagement with critical stakeholders towards achieving a peaceful, rancor-free and successful March 26 National Convention, reminding his guests of the proximity of the election dates set by INEC. The president made a strong case for positions to be harmonized with a bigger picture of retaining power and sustaining the delivery of good governance.
As you all know, we cannot afford to do anything that will jeopardize the chances of the party in the 2023 general elections. We have an obligation to conduct the upcoming convention in a manner that not only fortifies the unity of our party, but also improves the prospects of our electoral fortunes. We have an important role to play in ensuring that this happens.
Already, a zoning template was produced and adopted by the party towards ensuring that the new leadership of the APC is reflective of the nation's diversity in unity, as well as a representative of the nation's dynamic interest. The president stressed the need for the template to be adhered to as a matter of necessity.
The time available to us is limited, and I therefore enjoin you to collaborate with the various stakeholders within and outside your respective states and zones to agree to work together and harmoniously in electing into the allotted positions appropriately as stipulated in the provided template. This will not only produce a smooth process and limit friction, but will enhance the image of the party positively and strengthen our overall position of dominance in the political space.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker Femi Bajabiamila were full of appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for providing the desired leadership for the APC and Nigeria to not only overcome most of their challenges, but also remain united, focused, and indeed growing stronger.
This meeting with Mr. President has given us more energy. We believe that at least in our party, there is a president who will ensure that once there are disagreements, he is able to call everybody to order. We are committed to ensuring that this political party does not only have a successful convention, but a very successful, peaceful, and self-electioneering campaigns. And the general elections, by the grace of God, will see Nigerians voting once again for APC, because we have so far done so much in the areas that matter for the people of this country.
The whole idea is to encourage all stakeholders to unite present a common front and have a peaceful, rancor-free, successful convention.
It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday met with the APC governors and national chairmanship aspirants of the party towards ensuring that delegates go into the March 26 National Convention with a united front. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A 10-year primary health care PHC guideline standards and regulatory framework to improve healthcare service delivery in Nigeria has been launched at a 2-day primary healthcare summit, which is underway in Abuja. Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, who launched the document, says the federal government is prioritizing health security and making PHC fully functional in the spirit of achieving universal health coverage. Olusheye Adeagbo has details.
The World Health Organization considers primary health care as the most efficient and cost-effective approach to achieving universal health coverage. For some years now, however, this level of health care in Nigeria has not been operating as conceptualized.
Now is the time for us to treat our healthcare as the emergency that it is.
The federal government is coming up with a new approach that is expected to help in transforming primary healthcare service delivery in the country.
No matter how robust we want a health system to be, it can only be as strong as our primary health system. Because of the preventive focus of primary health care, any investment in healthcare is a wise investment in the social and economic well-being of society.
Revitalizing primary healthcare centers is central to this initiative and is key to Mr. President's health agenda.
This 2022 Primary Healthcare Summit, with the theme Reimagining PHC in Nigeria, has participants drawn from across the health sector, with administrators, development partners, as well as religious and traditional leaders pledging support.
And may He, Almighty Allah, give us the strength and the willpower to implement all what we have agreed to do here.
At the Nigerian Governors Forum, we remain committed to working with the Federal Ministry of Health, the National Primary Health Care Development Agency, and our partners to achieve our health goals.
It is a 2-day summit, and its target is to galvanize national and international stakeholders to invest and collaboratively implement a primary healthcare revitalization strategy for Nigeria. In Abuja, Olusheye Adeagbo, NTA News.
Meantime, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babajide Raji-Fashola, has assured Nigerians of the federal government's determination to deliver the construction of critical strategic infrastructure projects in Nigeria before the end of this year. The minister gave the assurance during the weekly State House media briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
The PIDF, conceived in 2018 by the President to accelerate the execution of critical and strategic infrastructural projects essential for rapid growth 4 years running, has recorded significant successes through implementation. This briefing underscores the importance of the initiative to national projects driven by transparency and accountability. The 3 infrastructure projects under the PIDF include the construction and expansion of the Lagos-Shagamu-Ibadan dual carriage.
Lagos to Shagamu, JB, 43.6 kilometers is 134 billion, because what we're doing there is that we're expanding the existing route from 2 to 3 lanes on each carriageway. And we're also providing some other services, service lanes. Amount that has been certified is 83%, 57% completion. Just like the Abuja-Kaduna Highway, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway also has at least 40,000 vehicles using it every day. So this is what we have to manage while we are constructing.
The second project is the associated infrastructure for the second Niger bridge linking Anambra and Delta states with 49 meters.
The amount, 206 billion. The amount that has been certified to date is 160 billion, and the percentage level is 91%.
The rehabilitation of Abuja-Kaduna-Kano dual carriage, which is the third, the minister hinted, has 41 bridge components over 4 territories: FCT, Kaduna, Niger, and Kano states.
This is a 375-kilometer project. It's actually the biggest project in Nigeria. The cost is in the order of 700 billion.
The projects so far have generated thousands of direct and indirect jobs, with income trickling across board. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The volume of crude oil stolen in Nigeria on a daily basis from the operations of illegal crude oil refiners is not only depleting Nigeria's production capacity, but also have massive negative impact on the environment. Key players who decried the economic impact and environmental devastation say it cannot be allowed to continue. Lydia Sampson reports.
Crude oil theft is often considered a massive economic sabotage. And as you can see right beside me here, this massive waste in the middle of Iba community in Port Harcourt, where illegal refining of crude oil is taking place, but abandoned. Iba community is about an hour's drive from Port Harcourt. Ironically, it is notorious for crude oil theft, which key players say is the biggest challenge bedeviling the oil and gas industry. It is in the light of these that President Muhammadu Buhari had directed that it be tackled once and for all. The combined strategic approach by industry players with security operatives is expected to turn around the narrative.
We cannot allow this to continue. Something has to be done. Apart from the toll it's taking on the oil industry, the toll that it is also taking on our environment, the environment that is to sustain our people is too much. Government cannot bear it. So this problem must be brought to an end.
The Navy is doing enormous work. In the last 4 to 5 days, they have made several arrests. They are blocking all the estuaries. And as long as we are not able to move the vessels around the waters, it will get out of it.
Members of the armed forces are going to be ruthless with anyone that is found to have engaged in the malfeasance. But I can assure you that at the end of it all, there will be greater improvement in the entire space.
If any Nigerian wants to participate in upstream activities, they could come to the regulatory body and the activities will be guided by the existing regulation.
They are optimistic that the renewed onslaught will leave no stone unturned in taking the war to the doorsteps of illegal crude oil thieves and refineries. From Port Harcourt, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Take a break. The program continues shortly.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back to Panorama. Continued advocacy as well as monitoring and evaluation of issues of societal concerns have been described as a right step towards the prevention of gender-based violence cases. This came up during a report validation meeting for Northeast Development Commission Gender-Based Violence Service Providers Assessment and Mapping, organized by Multi-Crisis Recovery Project held in Maiduguri. Abubakar Musa reports.
Gender-based violence is a societal problem with far-reaching effects on victims and their families, which is mostly not reported, as well as non-punitive measures taken against perpetrators. This report validation meeting, put together by Multi-Crisis Recovery Project MCRP in Borno, with series of presentations through the PowerPoint medium, is therefore aimed at minimizing as well as mitigating the potential risk of sexual exploitation and abuse, as well as other forms of gender-based violence that may arise during the implementation of the organization's core mandate. while describing the program as an opportunity to acquaint stakeholders on NEDC MCRP activities in addition to discussing the importance of gender assessment and identification of other key drivers through national, states and local government levels advocacy. Organizers as well as participants at the event say involvement of main actors is indispensable to ensure that the final report and recommendations are relevant to policymakers and key service providers.
What we hope to achieve in the long run is that these findings that have shown a lot of gaps in the GBV response mechanism for Borno State is taken up by the government of Borno State.
The event featured review of the report presented, assessment findings, sector-specific findings, cross-cutting results, capacity assessment of first responders, review of the referral map and directories, challenges and recommendations, as well as comments and feedbacks. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
The percentage of youths engaged in crimes is high all over the world, with Borno State experiencing increase of crimes perpetrated mostly by youths owing to deteriorating family values, societal conditions, and insecurity, among other factors. To this end, the alarming rates of youths in criminal activities has continued to become a source of concern in Maiduguri. Maimuna Garba takes a look at the situation.
Studies have shown that youth resolve to crime largely because they are not able to handle the rigors of everyday life or because their environment are highly deviant from the social morals and values as society plays a vital role in shaping youth behavior.
Youth involvement in crime is a reflection of the larger society, a reflection of the economy, and then the structure of political class who see nothing right in good governance than stealing, extortion.
As unemployment is seen as the main cause of increased crime rate among youth, studies further indicate that about 60% of young criminals are unemployed, while some young people with means of livelihood have resorted to looting and stealing valuable items. A clear case is the menace constituted by some NAPEP operators in Maiduguri who dispossessed passengers of their valuables while on board tricycles. Rape, burglary, robbery, gangsterism and prostitution, among other offenses, define the Borno State crime scene, with most perpetrators being youth. The police and other security operatives are not relenting in ensuring crime is being controlled as they intensify patrol in all the nooks and crannies of the metropolis to apprehend defaulters and bring sanity.
We're doing the much we can to see that the trend is lowered. The efforts we have been able to put in place is addressed through the justice system.
Experts suggested need for parents, political class and institutions of learning, as well as other stakeholders to intensify control on action of the youth.
Provide employment, provide care, provide infrastructure, and then, a very good mobilization network. More
awareness program, policies and schemes need to be put in place to reduce youth involvement in crimes in the society. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Maintenance of law and order to secure lives and property are necessary ingredients for peace to thrive in any society. When the highly productive group in the society, the youth, are faced with growing cases of criminality, there comes the urgent need for all hands to be on deck to arrest the situation. So how can we check declining parental authority, negative influence of communication technology, collapse of discipline in schools and moral decay in the societal life, especially in the post-insurgency recovery phase in Borno? With me to discuss this burning issue is a professor of sociology from the University of Maiduguri, Professor Musa Abdullahi. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you.
Moving on, sir, what do you think is responsible for the rising crime wave, especially among youths in our society?
Well, I think we have to face the reality. In this country, as citizens, we pay tax, states share process from natural resources, budgetary allocations are made year in, year out for the benefit of its own citizens. But what we see is just an executive arm looting, judiciary, extorting, legislative, robbing the citizens. And what you see from the youth group is a reflection. This is what we call symptoms of a failed state. It's the failure of the government, so we have to address that squarely. before we go down to the family, because family themselves, like the youth, they are victims of a failed state symptom where the federal, the legislative, the executive, who we consider the arms of government, supposed to provide the basic environment for citizens to operate freely and happily, is not there. It's just in paper. So because of that, families have limited resources to curtail that. But despite that, we know as the first agents, they have the responsibility of training, they have the responsibility of guiding, they have the responsibility of doing everything. But by the time you do that and they go out to the larger society and they face all these challenges, the social media, the political class that turn them into just dogs of carrying out their errands for them, and then our religious leaders that fail to teach and train and guide beyond looking for their material benefits. And then our traditional institutions, they themselves, they are just struggling to survive. So all these are reflection of what is happening, and then the youth now becomes a victim of this collective, problem arising from the federal government to leaders in the community, to traditional leaders, and then to our families. Our families, they are there, naturally they will do, but they have to face the economic reality, the poverty, the hardship. They have to go out, look for something to survive. And that's why the child is left without anybody taking care of, and then he grows under that influence, coupled with the current social media, where 80% of our youth time, he spent 80% of his time on the social media. That's why we have influence of Yahoo. That's why we have influence all these ills that you're talking about.
Okay, so, Prof, what measures should be taken into consideration from the family, community, and government to check these crimes perpetrated by our
youth? I think first, government must live up its responsibility. They should stop looting. When they make budget allocation should be followed clearly so that, the citizens, they know that they have a government that is providing all the basic necessary materials, be it health, be it education, be it agri, or whatever structure that can make this youth very busy. Secondly, people should also understand that if the society collapse, it is the collapse of the family system.
Okay.
Because it means the family did not live up to its own responsibility as a family. They did not train, they did not guide, they don't do anything. Because what family do is to ensure that the person that they bring in is someone that can be given the responsibility to govern the society in the future. A symbol of hope, a symbol of strength, a symbol of unity, a symbol of beauty, a symbol that people can now emulate. That is what youth even stands for. It is learners with sense of beauty, sense of direction, sense of strength, so that society will say, yes, in future we can do that. In literature, look at, if you know the story of Okonko, they say when a child washes his hand, he can equally dine with the kings. It means he has inculcated the values of his own community. He is always righteous, doing the right thing, and people depend on him. But that is in a natural environment. Today, we say our youth are engaged in robbery. All the ills that you mentioned, these are reflections, these are symptoms of a failed state that was, masterminded, contributed by the three arms of government. Because they are either busy looting, robbing, or extorting the very little resources that is meant for public, and thereby leaving everybody on its own.
Okay.
We have a problem.
Okay, what about the role of law enforcement agencies, the judiciary, and correctional institutions in curbing criminality?
Well, I told you, the law enforcement agencies, they are not different from what the federal government is doing. They are also busy distorting the very instrument given to them to maintain law and order. That's why I say the judiciary, they are also busy extorting. The high bidder against all. And someone who has a clear case, they extort money and then they jail him. They contribute to the problems. And they don't understand. The military, the police also, their professional training requires that they should be able to maintain law and order, but they don't even understand. So they don't have the skill, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the experience. And those that were given the opportunity to go and maintain that, they are busy trying to live up to the larger society where materialism is the order of the day.
All right. Prof, for pressure of time, we have to leave it here. Thank you for sharing your insights on Panorama.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Let's now join Clement Olorutoba for sports update.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria had a feel of the turf in the Baba Yara Stadium, Kumasi, as they get ready to battle host Ghana in the FIFA World Cup qualifier on Friday. The three-time African champions flee into Kumasi as they target all 3 points against Black Stars of Ghana. The West African rivalry clash is scheduled for 8 p.m. Friday at the 40,000 Baba Yara Stadium, Kumasi.
Yeah, I think we just have to try and keep ourselves calm, keep focused, not get carried away with all the stuff that's also being said, and the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria is not something that we can let us get carried away with. So we just try and do our job, and we look forward to the first game in Kumasi.
Other matches scheduled for Friday include DR Congo will wait at home to receive Morocco. Algeria visits Cameroon. Mali and Tunisia will have a date. 2021 AFCON winner Senegal will have another final with Egypt. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Sport Ismaila Abubakar has charged newly inaugurated board of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria to work in harmony with all stakeholders in the interest of the development of the game. Abubakar gave the charge while inaugurating the board of the federation's elections held at the Ministry of Youth and Sport, where immediate past President Francis Obi was re-elected unopposed for another 4 years tenure, as Mohamed Meina also won re-election as Vice President.
As President, Vice President, and members of the Federation, the task of deepening the development of sports now rests on your shoulders.
For us, we are going to focus on the technical aspect and then grassroots development. We are taking badminton to schools.
And finally, British Emara Ducanu suffered another early exit